Geometry, Chapter 1, Lesson 9. We're going to look at, real quickly, the difference between exact versus estimate. And yeah, it's kind of a battle. Which is exact and which is the estimate? So if you actually calculate something by hand or you use your calculator, which one would give you the exact answer and which one would give you the estimate answer? And actually it would be calculating by hand. The calculator can only give you estimated answers in most cases. Which is exact and which is the estimate? This is fraction, is that exact? Or is this decimal exact? And actually the fraction is exact while this is an estimate because this number goes on forever and it's actually been rounded off. So as soon as you round it off, you now have an estimated number. Which is exact and which is estimate? Actually this symbol that represents pi is exact. This decimal that you're probably familiar with, 3.14, is an estimate because pi is a number where these decimal places go on forever. They actually never end. So when I only go off 2 places here and I stop, all of these other decimal points that are decimal places that we're not using have been rounded off to 4 here. So this is actually an estimated answer rather than this symbol, which represents the entire number. All of those decimal places that aren't used is represented by this symbol. So this would be the exact value of pi. This is an estimated value of pi. So pi is exact, not 3.14. Therefore, we don't want you to use 3.14 unless you're asked to round an answer. This is very, very important. You'll see this phrase in your book. It's called in terms of pi, and what they mean that when they say determine the area of a circle and leave your answer in terms of pi, what they're asking you to do is just to leave this symbol there in your answer and not to multiply by 3.14. This would be an exact answer. This, when you multiply by 3.14, would give us an estimated answer, and they're looking for the exact. So when you see this phrase in terms of pi, you want to leave your answer with the pi symbol in there. Alright, and so we want to continue to do that. So for instance, here it says to determine the circumference, leaving your answer in terms of pi. And the reason we want to do that, or the way we would do that, is we start with the formula and we would write it out. The circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Now I chose to use diameter because the value that they gave me here is the diameter. So when I substitute in pi times, and then the diameter is 15, because I'm asked to leave my answer in terms of pi, I'm actually done. So the circumference is 15 pi, and the units are centimeters. This is my exact answer. I don't multiply it out because I'm asked to leave it in terms of pi, so this would be the exact answer. Alright, so this is the way that you want to do these exact answer or leaving in terms of pi. And so that would be my exact answer. Alright, so let's do another one here. 3.7, let's do the circumference. Alright, so the circumference is equal to, again, it gives me the diameter, so I'm going to use pi times diameter. And so my diameter is 3.7, so I'm going to multiply this by 3.7. And because it says to leave it in terms of pi, I'm going to leave it in terms of pi. Now, as a matter of convention, we usually put the pi symbol second. Whoops! And then I want you to always put units on every answer. Every answer needs to have units. So this would be the circumference in terms of pi. Alright? So it actually is taking us less time to do these because we're not needing to substitute these into our calculator. So it's actually saving us time. Circumference here, this time I'm given the radius, so in this case I'm going to use 2 pi r because I'm given the radius, so I'm going to go ahead and substitute in 2 times pi times 5. Now I'm leaving it in terms of pi, so I don't calculate 3.14, but I can multiply these numbers together and get 10 pi, so 10 pi feet would be the circumference in terms of pi. Alright, so always leave your answer in terms of pi when you're doing those. Alright.